In this video, we'll just have a closer look at these external SSD drive from Intenso. These are the portable SSD Premium Edition, 512 gigabyte variant. You can also get them up to 1 terabyte, I believe. Not really available in my country, but you can get them all the way down to around 128 gigabyte, USB 3.0, and up to 320 megabytes per second read and or write speed. So I believe it's SATA SSD inside these enclosures here. The reason why I bought these is because they are very inexpensive. They are on sale right now for around $35. And I do actually already have one of these connected to my Raspberry Pi 4 running Home Assistant, and it's been running for around 2 months non-stop right now. And actually paying a little bit more for that, I believe around 40% more, because like I said, it is on sale right now. And that's also the reason for me to go out and get 4 of these. I hope I can use them to record videos on with the kind of content I'm doing right now. Connect them straight up to my Blackmagic Design video recorder, and then of course just record straight to these, and they're much faster and higher capacity than my SD card that I'm using right now, and faster to transfer the files to my computer as well, because yeah, this is of course SSD. So in terms of price per gigabyte, there's not really anything in my country at least that can beat this price here, not just for external SSDs, but in general just for SSDs. And you can always just take these ones apart if you want to use the SSD inside. I believe it is a 2280 SSD in there with B key and M key connection. So you can just kind of harvest that if you want to use it in some kind of a build, but of course this only runs at SATA speed. Anyhow, let's just get into unboxing, and we'll just unbox one of these. Of course, exactly the same content inside the box on all of 4 of these drives here. And let's have a look around the box here. Low noise, of course. There's no noise at all, no moving parts. Eco power and shock resistant as well. And does support USB 2.0 and 3.0. But I believe, or I know for a fact, that these do not have the correct USB protocol for USB SCSI device, I believe. So you can only really connect these with USB mass storage, which can cause a little bit of issue if you use it on Linux. And if you use it with a Raspberry Pi, which I am doing with one of these drives, you have to go in and edit the config file to make it use just standard USB 3.0 mass storage device protocol, and not connect to like the faster USB protocol standard. I believe it's called USB SCSI standard. So that's a little bit of a downside with this, but it's not really limited to this one. I believe most of these USB SSDs actually don't really use the correct protocol, or at least the correct handshake when they're connecting to your device, to the computer or whatever. You have to go out and buy a little bit more expensive external SSD, some name brand like Samsung, or yeah, some of the other brands. But other than that, you have that nice yellow and black theme going on there, red dot design from 2018, so that's quite a few years ago. And you know what you get in the box is of course just the SSD, and you get the USB cable, and it does use micro USB 3.0 to connect to the SSD itself, and USB Type A in the other end. So I use USB Type C with my recording device, so I need to either use a hub to connect this one to my recorder, or I could just get a USB-C to USB 3.0 micro cable. You also get a 2-year warranty with these ones here. I believe Intenso does have pretty good warranty, so you could always, of course, contact them if you have some issues. And I did see on Amazon some people complaining about these not lasting more than a year, or yeah, at least a few of the reviews there. Most of them were positive, but there was a few that had the device broken after a year. Most frequently with this device like this is just the enclosure that's actually broken down, not the SSD or the drive inside. So sometimes it's enough just to replace the enclosure, but of course you do have that 2-year warranty if something should happen. Anyways, let's just get into this box. It is sealed here on the side, so let's just cut the seal here on both sides. And that's pretty much all we have inside the box. So you have the SSD here nicely presented. On the back side we do have a little instruction manual, and let's just remove everything here from the box and get rid of this plastic here. Let's just move the SSD out of the way and have a closer look at the instructions here. So Intenso for everyday life. I've had also a normal Intenso SATA SSD a few years back. Never really had any issues with any of the products, but I have not really used any of the products for long time or long period of time. Like I said, the other one I have in my Raspberry Pi is only like 2 months old. It's been running day and night for 2 months, so I hope it will last a few years at least. But anyways, let's just have a look at the instructions here. Premium edition still. This is a premium device. And it is in many different languages, and there's really not much to it. It's pretty much just plug and play. So you have an overview of the device, and you just need to plug it into your computer or whatever kind of device. And there's a little bit of a safety instructions here, so, and in many different languages. So I believe they sell these in many different regions of the world. Other than that, of course, we do have the USB cable sealed here in a plastic bag. Little wasteful, all that plastic in my opinion, but anyways, let's just unwrap it here. Relatively short cable, and it feels like pretty decent quality. Like I said, we do have micro USB here. It is USB 3.0. You could also, of course, just use a standard micro USB 2.0 cable and then run it at 2.0 speed. Yeah, I'm not really too picky about this cable. I think it's okay. It would have been nice to see USB Type-C, but can't really expect it at a product at this price range. And also, if it's from 2018, it is a relatively old device. So this is probably my second favorite connector. And the other end, like I said, you do have USB Type-A, and this is of course USB 3.0, or what's called 3.1 Gen 1 now, I believe. Anyways, Intenso branding here on the corner definitely does feel a little bit cheap, but it is metal, aluminum construction. All the way around here we see plastic here on the end, a little bit of an edge here. So overall, actually feels pretty okay. It feels a little bit hollow, but the overall construction feels quite nice. And there's a little sticker on there as well. So just tells you that it's the 512 gigabyte variant. And of course, tells you a little bit about the company there and the address. Micro USB 3.0, of course, here for connecting the cable. And it connects like in one of the sides, like so. You do also have a little LED right here. So I really like that. Activity LED, so it tells me whether I'm reading and or writing to the drive. I kind of like that, but activity LEDs is becoming more and more rare in these days in external devices, but again, like I find it very useful. So that's pretty much the device itself. Let's just bring in the scale. So we're looking at around 51 grams for the device itself, and of course with the cable here we are looking at 66 grams. So a very lightweight package. But let's just connect it to my computer and actually just run a speed test, a crystal disk mark test. So I've connected to my computer here, and you can see it is already pre-formatted as exFAT, which is a good thing. So let's just run a crystal disk mark test. Okay, here in Windows 11, it does seem like it is recognized as a USB or SSD SCSI disk. So it seems to be recognized properly. Let's just run a speed test. So speed test finally finished, and we're looking at around 440 megabytes per second read speed and write speed of 370 megabytes per second, or 72 rather. And that's actually a little bit higher than what they advertise here on the box. But I believe, of course, some of the lower capacity drives maybe wouldn't really hit the same speeds as this one here. So definitely very pleased with the overall speed of this little USB drive here. And after all of these benchmarks here, it does definitely get very warm to the touch. Not burning hot, but definitely does get quite warm. I believe this would be just fine. Next thing I want to test is to connect this to my recorder that I'm actually recording on right now. I've previously tried one of these USB-C hubs connected to my Blackmagic 12G SDI video assist. But for some reason, the other drives I've tried, I could not really connect with this hub here. So I ended up just scratching this idea. I've also tried another hub here, not working either. It's both the same brand, so maybe it's the USB chip in here. But according to Blackmagic, USB hub should be able to work. So let's just see if we can get it working with this USB drive. The other drive I tried was a USB 10 gigabits per second. So a very fast SSD. I'm hoping maybe this one is a little bit slower and maybe not running at the 10 gigabits per second, and this way it can get the proper handshake to my recording device here. But anyways, let's just try and plug it in. I'll just plug it in here off camera. You can of course see some activity LED there that I'm talking about. And right away, let me just get my phone so I can actually record the screen here on my recorder. And you can see down here, Intenso, it was recognized right away. Of course, I'm recording to my SD card right now. Let's just go in and see drive list. And you can see it here, registered just fine. Let's actually go in and see if we can format this one here. Just to format it. Nah, I can't really do that right now. Probably because I am recording. Definitely is working. That's a very nice bonus. None of the drives I've tried with the same USB hub with the 10 gigabit per second USB speed have been able to work, but this one definitely seems to work just fine, at least here in my initial test. So yeah, that's a big thumbs up. So I hope these will be my new recording media going into the foreseeable future here with my YouTube channel. Also, so I can get a little bit faster transfer speed to my computer. I still believe UHS 2 SD cards is too expensive, so I've just been using UHS 1, and just around the 100 megabytes per second of read speed. So it takes quite a long time to actually export those or to transfer those relatively big video files to my computer or to my NAS server rather. This one here should be much faster. I transfer directly to my NAS server. I'm connected with 2.5 gigabit LAN, so just around the 300 megabytes per second of speed is around the maximum I can get when I transfer to my NAS server, and that is what I am actually editing from. So the speeds of this one here is plenty fast for the kind of use case I need, and also in terms of the write speed for any kind of codec I would want to record. Yeah, I can kind of recommend this little device here, at least in terms of my initial testings. And like I said, I've been using one of these for like 2 months. It's been on 24/7 for 2 months on my Raspberry Pi 4. I'm not really sure I would recommend something like this if you want to use it for your primary drive for like a Mac or Linux device connected to a USB. Not really sure it would be able to handle that kind of read and write constantly to the drive, but just as a mass storage device where you transfer some files back and forth from between your computers and so on, I believe this will be fine. And just for recording videos too, I hope this will be fine as well. And like I said, in terms of gigabyte per dollar, there's not really anything that can beat this right now here in my country, at least. $35 for like 512 gigabytes is definitely very good price. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope to see you again in a future one. Until then, take care.